Happy Monday. It's another week in the music teacher life around here. And today I wanted to talk about something that can feel a little hard or can feel a little bit heavy potentially. But we're not going to keep it there. We're going to have some real talk and move it to a place where we can do something about it. Because that's what I'm all about. I'm not about venting. I'm not about complaining only. I'm about solutions-minded focus. So hang with me. If you're watching live, you can say good morning. Oh, just like my friend Carrie Fisher did. Good morning, my friend. Perfect timing. So if you're watching live, hang with me. Let me know in the comments that you're there because I love being able to connect with you as you're here. And if you're watching the replay, you can comment there as well because I love to know that you stopped by and said hi. And that just warms my heart to know that you are benefited and encouraged by some of what we talk about. So for those of you who are new around here, my name is Andrea Oram. I am a music teacher. I teach pre-K through 12th grade, lots of homeschoolers, private lessons. I do actually teach adults, a lot of retired folks in community ed classes. So I teach kind of the entire life spectrum. And it's wonderful. I love it. But I also love mentoring new music teachers and helping make the complicated, hard things feel simple. So that's what I'm all about. But today we're talking about something that maybe feels a little rough, and that is compassion fatigue. What is it? First of all, that's part one for today. And part two is for tomorrow, how to navigate it. Okay, so come back and check that out tomorrow morning. And we'll be talking about how to navigate it specifically from the lens of a music teacher, because that's what I am. All right. But first of all, compassion fatigue. What is it? Well, compassion fatigue is typically thought of as something that people who are in healthcare or who are caring for, like a caregiver for a family member or something like that, that's typically what people think of when they think of compassion fatigue, because it's the idea that you are such a giver and you want to help and you want to have compassion for either a group of people or one person or a small subset of people that you are with and you are caring for and you are loving out of your heart, but also from your time and your resources day in and day out, right? But because that need is so great, or because that whether it's a physical need or whether it's an emotional need, it could be even just for a specific friend who is really going through hard things and they're typically leaning on you. And so you start to experience this compassion fatigue, right? Which is the idea that you aren't as compassionate. You kind of start to not feel like you care. And music teachers in general can go through this too. They can experience this tiredness, this fatigue of, there's so many things my students need, especially right now, especially after the last 2 years. My students need so much. They need so much emotionally. They need so much physically. They need so much relationally that I can't give them. And I feel like I'm always giving. And maybe I don't feel like someone's giving, or anyone is giving to me in a way that I might need, right? And so it's this fatigue of emotional or mental. It's this mental or emotional fatigue. Sometimes it is physical too, if you're doing a lot of physical caregiving. But I find that, at least for music teachers, for myself in specific, it is more of an emotional fatigue when I've experienced it before. And I just want to say, if you are experiencing this, you're not alone. Let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable sharing that you experience some compassion fatigue. I typically experience it around this time of year. I don't know if it's just because it's that time of the school year where, at least here in Minnesota, we've been inside a lot. We've been in winter a lot, and students struggle with some of that seasonal stuff. I struggle with some of that seasonal stuff of the darkness and at this point, we're starting to get spring fever, right? And so just that extra patience, that extra compassion sometimes that my students need and I want to give them, sometimes I just feel like I'm starting to slowly really fatigued or really drained by that. And I notice myself not feeling like I care as much. Um, and I don't like that, right? But you're not alone. Compassion fatigue is a real thing. It's not something to be ashamed of. So if you want to share in the comments, hey, I've dealt with this before, like, or I'm dealing with it right now, let people know in the comments, because then they know they're not alone too, right? A lot of us go through this, and it's usually seasons, right? It goes in waves. But that's what it is. And I just want those of us who are teachers in general, but music teachers in specific, to know that we're not alone, to know that it's okay to experience this. It's not something just for people in healthcare, or not something that people just caring for an elderly family member go through. We can go through this too. Um, and there's really practical ways to come out of it and to support ourselves when we're in that space. So we're going to talk some about that tomorrow. This wasn't meant to be a heavy topic, although it is kind of a heavy topic sometimes. But I just wanted to encourage you that it's okay to experience it, all right? And it's okay that sometimes teaching is hard, right? But I'm solutions focused, and I'm focused on that desire for growth and that desire to move through something with grace and ease. Even if it doesn't feel easy, even if it doesn't feel like I have grace for myself, I desire to give myself grace, and I want you to live in grace too. Okay. I see my friend Carrie Fisher commenting some. You develop a thicker skin around your energy level. Yeah, you kind of do. You just maybe don't give as much energetic energy, like excited energy potentially, and it feels a little bit more like self-preservation at times. Yeah, I think that's what I'm relating to what you're saying for sure. And you also shared again. Yes, I have lived through this over the years. You are not alone. You want to reach out and talk to other people to help move you through this season. Exactly. So that's why I want us to talk about this a little bit as music teachers, because it's not talked about. And not talk about it from just a pure venting and this is what I'm going through and it's so awful. Not from that space, but from a space that we're not alone. We can support each other. There are ways we can move through this season with grace. And I want us to focus on that tomorrow. So if you are watching this in the future, you can search for the part 2 that should be in the future. You can search after that. But if you're in the new music teacher support and community group and you're watching from that space, thank you so much for joining me. That, if you're not familiar, if you're watching from somewhere else, is a group where I love to support new music teachers, or just music teachers who are focusing on a different grade level than they've maybe done before. So maybe you're moving from elementary to high school, because I teach the whole age range. So I can really speak to all of those things. And I've done a lot of elementary. So there's a lot, I've helped some people who are navigating elementary for the first time after teaching older kids. But I also love teaching about learning to move to self-employment or freelancing, because I also went from the public school space to working for myself. And so that is something that we talk a lot about. So if that's the type of newness that's for you, maybe this group's for you. You can check out the link in the description of this video and learn more if that is for you. And if not, no big deal. But I will see you again tomorrow morning to talk about how to navigate compassion fatigue with grace. All right. So I'll catch you again tomorrow, and have a great rest of your day until I see you then. Bye for now.